Picture this. The world outside my window is a blur of amber streetlights and fleeting shadows as I sit, lost in thought, tracing the edges of a worn-out travel journal. My name's Harry. I'm 32, and for the past 6 years, I've been lucky enough to call Emily my wife. She's 30, a force of nature with long chestnut hair that catches the sunlight just right, and a laugh so bright it could chase away the darkest clouds. We met back in college on a chaotic group trip to the Grand Canyon, where a wrong turn on a hiking trail led to us sharing a quiet sunset. And from that moment, we've been hooked on exploring the world together. Travel isn't just a hobby for us, it's our glue. We've trekked through the cobblestone alleys of Europe, pitched tents under starlit skies in national parks, and stolen quick escapes whenever life allowed. I can still taste the bitter espresso we sipped at a tiny Parisian cafe, rain tapping on the awning as we planned our next move. I remember getting hopelessly lost in Venice, laughing as we wandered through narrow streets, her hand in mine, the world shrinking to just us. Every trip seemed to weave us tighter together, or at least that's what I believed. Each adventure felt like a promise, a renewal of the spark that started it all. So when we planned a short getaway to Riverton, a lively city just a few hours from home, I was buzzing with anticipation. Riverton's got this old-world charm, with historic buildings lining its streets and a nightlife that pulses with energy. It felt like the perfect spot to recharge, to lose ourselves in something new. The night before we left, I could barely sleep, imagining what Riverton had in store for us. The drive there was smooth, just a few hours of open road, with Emily humming along to the radio, her hand resting on my knee. When we pulled up to the Riverton Grand, a towering hotel with a sleek glass facade, I felt that familiar thrill of a new adventure kicking in. We checked into our room on the 12th floor, a cozy suite that instantly felt like a little sanctuary. The king-sized bed was draped in plush white linens, begging us to dive in. And the balcony offered a jaw-dropping view of the city skyline, all glittering and alive below us. Unpacking was a ritual of its own. I hauled out my suitcase, and Emily couldn't help but giggle as I pulled out way too many pairs of socks. "Harry, are you planning to open a sock store down there?" she teased, her eyes sparkling with mischief. I shot back with a grin, reminding her I like to be prepared, while she waved her hand dismissively, clutching her phone instead of a travel guide. "I prefer to wing it," she said, and I just shook my head, knowing her spontaneity always led to the best surprises. Once we settled in, we hit the streets of Riverton, hand in hand, ready to soak it all in. The cobblestone paths felt like stepping back in time, lined with quaint shops and bustling with life. We wandered aimlessly, popping into a little diner for greasy burgers and thick, creamy milkshakes that tasted like nostalgia. At a historic fountain in the heart of the city, we snapped selfies, her cheek pressed against mine, the water shimmering behind us. I wake up around 6 a.m., groggy and disoriented, my head heavy like I've been underwater too long. I reach out for Emily, expecting the warmth of her beside me, but her side of the bed is cold, the sheets barely wrinkled, the room is dim, the curtains still drawn tight, casting faint slivers of gray light across the floor of our Riverton Grand Suite. I sit up slowly, rubbing the sleep from my eyes, my gaze darting around. Her phone's gone, her purse too. A flicker of confusion hits me, but I shake it off. Maybe she's just popped out for coffee or decided to hit the hotel gym early. I lie back down, staring at the ceiling, trying to ignore the weird knot twisting in my stomach. I'm overthinking this, I tell myself. She'll be back any minute, probably with a latte in hand, teasing me for sleeping in. An hour drags by, each tick of the clock louder in my head. I'm still sprawled on the bed, half dozing, when I hear the faint click of the door unlocking. Curiosity, more than anything, makes me close my eyes, pretending to sleep, my breathing slow and even, Through barely parted eyelids, I see Emily slip back into the room. Her chestnut hair slightly messy, still in the same soft pajamas she wore last night. But she's not alone. Two men follow her, both dressed in hotel cleaning staff uniforms, their name tags catching the faint hallway light. One's tall and wiry, his movements sharp. The other's stocky, a scruffy beard framing his jaw. Pulse quickens as I hear Emily whisper, "Be quiet." He's asleep, her voice low, urgent, almost unfamiliar. I keep still, barely breathing, my heart hammering against my ribs. What I see next rips the air from my lungs. Emily turns to them, her gestures intimate, pressing close in a way that's unmistakable. Her lips brushing against their skin in a silent, deliberate dance of betrayal. They respond, one sliding an arm around her waist, the other tangling fingers in her hair. Their hushed chuckles piercing the quiet. I woke to the warmth of sunlight spilling through the curtains, painting golden streaks across the hotel room. Floor, my eyes flutter open, heavy with the weight of last night's nightmare memory I can't shake, no matter how hard I try. I'm still in bed, tangled in the sheets of our Riverton Grand Suite, my body stiff, my mind a storm of jagged thoughts. Emily's already up. I can hear her humming softly from the bathroom. The sound so casual, so normal, it twists something deep inside me. She's brushing her hair, I bet, standing in front of the mirror like nothing's wrong, like the world hasn't shattered under my feet. I clench the sheets, my hands trembling, knuckles whitening as I grip harder, trying to anchor myself. My chest feels like it's caving in, rage and heartbreak clawing at each other, leaving me raw. I can't stop seeing at those stolen moments in the dim light. Her closeness with those strangers, a betrayal carved into my memory with cruel precision. My throat tightens, a lump I can't swallow as I hear her footsteps nearing. She steps out, all smiles, her chestnut hair catching the morning glow, and says, "Good morning, sleepyhead." I force the words out, "Good morning," but they scrape against my vocal cords, sounding hollow even to my own ears. She doesn't notice, or maybe she doesn't care, and suggests we grab breakfast at a little cafe nearby. I nod, keeping my voice steady, each syllable a lie I'm barely holding together. Inside, I'm unraveling, but I can't let her see it, not yet. We dress in silence. I pull on jeans and a polo, the fabric feeling rough against my skin, like everything irritates me now. She slips into that sundress she packed, the one I used to love, and it's a punch to the gut seeing her in it. We head downstairs, the elevator. Ride suffocating, her perfume filling the small space, a scent that once felt like home but now turns my stomach. At the cafe, we settle into a corner table, the murmur of other patrons buzzing around us. After breakfast, we wander Riverton's streets a bit more, the city's charm now a hollow backdrop to the storm inside me. Emily's hand brushes mine as we walk, and I flinch, the touch burning like a lie. She doesn't seem to notice, chatting about a little boutique she wants to check out, her voice light and carefree. I nod along, my response is mechanical, while every step feels heavier, like I'm dragging the weight of what I saw behind me. Eventually, she mentions feeling worn out from all the walking, and we head back to the Riverton Grand. Once we're in our suite, she stretches with a yawn, saying she's gonna take a quick nap to recharge. I mumble something about needing some air and step out onto the balcony, the door clicking shut behind me. I settle into a chair, the metal cold against my skin, and stare down at the city sprawling below. The hum of traffic rises like a distant roar, blending with the chaos in my head. The secret I'm carrying, it's crushing me, a boulder on my chest I can't shake off. Every moment with Emily now feels tainted. Her laughter, which used to light up my world, echoes in my mind as a mockery. Her casual touches, once so comforting, replay as betrayals, each one a sharp jab to my heart. I can't escape the image of her with those men, the intimacy I witnessed in the dim light of our room. It's a wound that festers with every passing second, raw and unrelenting. I pull out my phone, my fingers trembling as I scroll through old photos of us. There's one from our wedding day, her smile radiant under a veil of lace, my arm around her like I could protect her from anything. Another from last year's beach. Trip, her hair wild from the salty wind, both of us laughing as we stumbled through the sand. Tears sting my eyes, hot and bitter, as I wonder where it all went wrong. How did we get from there to here? How could she shatter everything we built? With something so unthinkable. I swipe through more memories, each one a reminder of a love I thought was unbreakable, now shattered beyond repair. The rest of our getaway in Riverton passes like a fever dream, a haze of forced smiles and hollow actions. I go through the motions, dragging myself along as if nothing's wrong, but every second is a battle to keep my face neutral. We visit a local museum, wandering through dimly lit halls filled with ancient artifacts and faded paintings. But I barely register the exhibits. My eyes glaze over as I stare at a cracked vase behind glass, my mind replaying that devastating scene from the hotel room over and over. Emily points out a sculpture, her voice excited, but her words are just noise to me. I mutter something vague, snapping a photo or two with my phone, capturing moments that feel like lies. Later, we stroll along the riverfront, the water glinting under the afternoon sun, a cool breeze brushing against my skin. Emily insists on taking pictures, posing with a wide grin, her arm looped through mine. I force a smile for the camera, but it feels like my face might crack under the strain. The river flows peacefully beside us, oblivious to the storm raging inside me. That evening, we dine at a fancy restaurant, the kind with white tablecloths and candlelight flickering in crystal holders. The food's some elaborate dish with seared scallops and a drizzle of sauce might as well be cardboard for all I taste. It's Emily chats about the flavors, laughing as she sips her wine, planning our next adventure somewhere tropical. I nodded along, my responses robotic, my heart a lead weight in my chest. Every clink of her glass, every carefree word, feels like a dagger twisting deeper. The next day, we pack up and drive home. A 3-hour journey that stretches into eternity. I keep my eyes glued to the road, the asphalt blurring beneath the tires, while soft rock plays on the radio, a mellow tune that grates on my nerves. Emily sings along, her voice light and off-key, oblivious to the tension coiling tighter in me with every mile. My hands grip the steering wheel so hard my knuckles ache, as if holding on for dear life. I don't trust myself to speak, so I stay silent, letting the music fill the void, and forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.